So the day I'm uploading this video, it is the harvest full moon. It's October 1st, 2020, and today I'm going to be taking you through my simple full moon routine. I don't do anything crazy or extravagant. I really have a simple day full of self-care and just some releasing of some negativity that I might be holding on to. So I hope you find this video helpful and that you can take some of these ideas and implement them into your own routine. For several days around the time of the harvest full moon, the moon rises 30 minutes later each night. As the moon rises from the hour around the sunset, it sometimes appears larger and vibrantly orange, perfect for the fall season. On the full moon, I always like to connect to nature in some way, whether it be to go for a walk or a hike, or like today, where I just sit in the leaves and try to ground myself. It stormed heavily last night, which explains why Sam was so thrilled to have a tree branch to chew on. The ground and leaves were wet, but I don't really mind. I like the feeling of walking barefoot on the damp ground and being able to smell the leaves intertwine with the smell of rain.
What is this? Why'd you do that? It looks like a bullet hole.
While I sit outside, this is when I pull an oracle card or two. Right now, I'm not really asking for definitive answers on anything in my life. I don't really need answers or timelines. I feel that sometimes we can get caught up in what the answers are, but in a toxic way. Because I am avoiding specific questions, I tend to ask questions like, what do I need to implement into this next cycle to align with my higher self? What advice do I need to hear in order to better align with my dreams? The answer to the last question really shocked me. It's definitely a major theme that I'm feeling in my life right now. I talk about it in a lot of videos, and I talk about it a lot in this video. I don't want to lie and say that I always clean on the full moon, but I do find myself doing laundry or washing my bedding on the full moons. Today I finally decided to do the laundry that's been piling up on my chair in my bedroom. Maybe I avoid doing laundry because I have to go into the basement. When we first moved in, the mover told me he felt something touch his neck down there and that the suitcases he put down there had moved. I think he was trying to scare me because it was definitely the string to the light that touched his neck, and the suitcases had wheels, so ever since then I've been a little afraid of the basement. If you hadn't noticed, I recently cut about 8 inches off my hair. I loved the length of my hair before, but it had become so damaged I started to feel like it made me look unhealthy. I wanted a fresh start to grow it long again, and the health and thickness is more important to me than it being long but looking scraggly. So since it's the full moon, I like to do a hair treatment. Today I'm using the Kristen S Reconstructive Moisture Mask on my ends. I'm also using the Amalaki Scalp Serum from Blue Beautifly. This smell makes me so happy and relaxed. It kind of reminds me of mint chocolate chip cookies that are baking in the oven. It's peppermint and warmth, and I really can't describe it any other way. I do always like to do a little bit of self-care on the full moon, but I'm a very simple person when it comes to routines. I just prefer to do something simple like a hair mask. This blanket is 15 pounds. The full moon is always the time when you release what is no longer serving you, so I always do a quick journal entry about what narrative I want to release during this cycle. A really random and simple narrative I've been wanting to release is that my home is ugly and that it isn't nice enough to show online. I honestly don't believe it's ugly, but I have always been hesitant to show much of my house because it isn't the typical influencer house. I actually love my home. It's old and historic, and I love the chip paint on the windows. I love my spooky basement. I love the old chandelier in the entryway. I love the random toilet we have in a closet in my living room. So I'm releasing the narrative that my home isn't good enough to show online. It's beautiful, and I'm grateful I even have a home. I'm here to remind you that we don't have to conform to the same thing we see all over social media. And I encourage you to be brave enough to be who you were intended to be and not somebody else. Strangely enough, just like what the oracle card said. Since it is the harvest full moon, I thought it would be a great time to use some of our freshly picked apples in one of my grandma's recipes. Her old cookbook is a treasure in my family, and not only does it have amazing recipes within it, but it holds handwritten recipes from many of her family members. My mom has been talking about Kuchen. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, and oddly enough, when I dropped all of the recipes on the floor, her great-grandma's Kuchen recipe fell out, as if by magic. And I'll leave the recipe down below if you want to make it for yourself. I love making family recipes. There's something special about keeping a family recipe alive. It's as if a part of your ancestors are living through you when you make it. Knowing how much they enjoyed it by the notes on the recipes makes you feel connected when you enjoy it the same, and even when you share it with others to spread that happiness.
Oh, you want an apple? Come here. Here you go. Oh, you're so gentle. I got so many beggars up in here. Children, this is the last apple. There. Thank you.
I really hope you took something away from this video. Give this a thumbs up and leave a comment if you did. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys very soon with another one.